strictly if it particularly. So I was just in here editing this video that you're about to watch, and I realized there's a lot of information here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a table of contents in the description, and it'll tell you the time counter you can skip to if you want to just look at the information for that particular topic. Maybe that'll help you navigate through this video, which has a lot of information in it. So here's the video, and I hope you enjoy. Hi there, welcome back. I recently did a podcast with my friend Lisa Goddard. I will link that below. And we talked about shipping. Now, her podcast is called the Pebble Leather Podcast, and it's all about handbags and leather specifically. And she had run across a situation where she had sold something and put it in an envelope. She figured up a price online through eBay because it was an eBay sale. She gave it to her husband. He took it to the post office and came back with some variations to what she had figured out the shipping would be. I can't remember what she had figured out online, but if she had shipped that package in the reused Amazon bubble envelope that she had sent with her husband, it would have cost $16. But the postal clerk told him if you put it in one of those flat rate envelopes, it'll go down to about $9. And she was wondering why using their product versus using her own envelope would cost less. So that sort of segued into us talking about different shipping options, and I have a little bit of experience there. So let me give you a little bit of history. My husband and I have owned a business for many years. We've always been self-employed, and with that was shipping. And I have been figuring out the best shipping options for various size packages for more than 20 years. And plus I have my Etsy shop, and I ship probably something every day with that. And so I'm keeping up with what services are available and some of the new stuff. That said, even I find out new stuff all the time, and things change constantly. So this is being recorded February of 2022. So if it's many years down the road, the basics are probably still the same, but some of the details may have changed. Now I'm going to focus on post office for this, but I also use UPS, and I may refer to some UPS services during this video. For the Postal Service, your costs of shipping are based on weight, size, and distance. One of the main things you can do to help yourself is to get a postal scale. And I have this one, and I'll put a link below. I got it on Amazon. I don't believe it was very expensive. It's a digital scale. It has a little readout here. It is great because it gets down to the ounce, and ounces matter. Since I sell on Etsy, mostly what I use is the Etsy shipping platform, and it's really very good. The rates are a little better than what you can get from the post office website, which I'll talk about in a minute. eBay is the same. Poshmark probably has their own shipping platform. I highly encourage you to take advantage of that. One of the advantages is some better rates, and the other is you don't have to retype your address, which keeps you from making mistakes with the address. So in the research for her podcast, I checked out Pirate Ship, which I had not really gotten involved with because I always use the Etsy platform for shipping. And I compared the Etsy rates to the Pirate Ship rates on a bunch of packages I was shipping that day, and they were exactly the same. Where I saw a real benefit was UPS rates. They have really good UPS rates on Pirate Ship. So if you get into the high poundage or large packages, it's always better to ship with UPS or FedEx or some other carrier than it is with the post office. And let me give you an example. If I were to ship a 9-pound package with the post office, it would cost me $85.72. That same package is $36.75 with UPS. That is a savings of more than half. You can ship online with the post office, and it's at USPS.com, and it's their click and ship program. They will let you calculate a price and ship there. There are some restrictions to what you can do. You can't do first class mail on click and ship, and in some cases you can't do a service called retail ground, which I'll talk about in a minute, and has a little bit of savings over priority mail. Most people don't know about it. It used to be called parcel post. If you don't have a platform like Pirate Ship or Etsy, you will have to go to the post office to do it. So I would suggest Pirate Ship. I'm really impressed with their platform, and I've used it a few times, and it's been pretty easy, and that gives you all the rates to compare. I'll plug in my weights and measures of my box, and it gives me all the rates. And I will put a screenshot of sort of what you'll see up here. And not sponsored, just something that I tried and I liked. Okay, a lot of people don't think about first class mail when mailing a package, and it can be quite a bit cheaper. And let's look at an item. This is a nice little tin car. I'll be listing this soon in my Etsy shop. This weighs 2 ounces. Now, if I put this in a box, this box is too big, but let's just see. Now, you add the packing material and stuff like that. Probably it's going to go up to 4 or 5 ounces. This does not need to be shipped priority mail. This can be shipped first class. Now, what is first class? If you put a stamp on a letter, that's first class mail. But you can also ship packages first class. And I'll give you some examples here. Okay, let's do an 11-ounce package first class. That's $4.50. That's at least half price of your nearest flat rate box. You can print that label on Pirate Ship or whatever platform you're selling on. It has a barcode. It's trackable. You can put it in a mailbox, a blue box, or your mailbox. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you know, it's got the tracking and everything. It's about as fast as priority mail, and a lot of people don't think about shipping their lighter packages first class mail, but that is a real good option. First class has some restrictions. Now, what I've experienced and what I read online were two different things. First class packages or parcels, those words are interchangeable. The maximum weight is 13 ounces. Etsy lets me ship stuff over 13 ounces first class, and I don't really understand why. They just do. So I do that. But let's go with the rules here at what it says, and that just might be what the post office can do, or maybe Etsy has a special deal with the post office and they can go up to 14, 15, 16 ounces. But let's use the 13 ounce limitation here. This little pitcher weighs, without a box, 13.2 ounces. Let's put it in a box. It goes over a pound. So this would need to go either retail ground or priority mail. The difference between those is negligible. So let's look at a 1.5 pound package, something like this. If you mail that in your own box, priority mail, it's $14.75. If you mail that retail ground, which used to be parcel post, it's $12. So you see there's a few dollars difference. The downside of that is retail ground is slower. If this was an item I felt safe in a flat rate envelope, which it's not, but let's just say it was something that could be shipped in a flat rate envelope, there are 3 options. Well, there's really more, but I'll talk about 3. There's the cardboard flat rate envelope, and it would be $9, $8.95 actually. There's a legal size that's $9.25, and there's the padded flat rate envelope, which is $9.65. So you would just choose whichever one was good for you. There are also flat rate boxes. There's the large flat rate, the medium flat rate, and the small flat rate. And I'm going to tell you that this particular item, if I were to put it in a flat rate box, I would be paying more than if I put it in my own box. Getting into the flat rate boxes is not beneficial unless your item is heavy and dense and small. It can fit into a flat rate box like this bag of pool balls. And it's a whole bag full. And I'm going to put it in this little box here and weigh it. 6 pounds. Now, I don't have my computer with me, so what I'm going to do is pop up here what the different rates would be mailing these pool balls in my own box versus the various flat rate boxes. And by that, you can see that when your item is heavy and small enough to fit in a flat rate box, it is beneficial. But if it's an average normal item, it's really not. And you just have to plug those numbers in and see what's the best thing. Now I'm going to talk about some little known flat rate boxes. You have your small, medium, and large flat rate boxes. And the small is about the size for a VCR video. That's actually what it was made for, I think. The medium is, like this, and then the large. And then there's the regional rate boxes. And my favorite ones to use are regional rate A. You cannot get these at the post office. You have to order them online. They're free. You go to USPS.com, order supplies, get the regional rate boxes. And these are regional rate A. And they also come in I believe they call this the shirt box. Regional rate A. These are really good for certain types of purses that are flat and floppy. They go real good in this. Sometimes regional rate A boxes can be cheaper than using your own box. But you have to have the boxes in stock and you have to look at the difference. What I'm finding is if I were to put this in a regional rate A box, it would be cheaper to ship this in my own box. So let's just talk about some of the rates you'll sort of face if you do a 2.5 pound package. So priority mail is $18. I'm going to round these up to the nearest dollar. Priority mail is $18. Retail ground would be $14. So if time wasn't an issue and the receiver could wait 10 days, retail ground is a really good price-saving option. If it can fit in a flat rate envelope, it'll be, depending on which envelope you use, between $9 and $9.65. So that's also a good option if your item is safe in an envelope. If you go to a flat rate box on that, the large is $21.50, the medium is $16.10, and the small is $9.45, which is just a little bit better than the padded flat rate envelope. And if for some reason your receiver wants it really fast, you can pay for express service through the post office for $61. So it's quite a price jump. I'm not even covering Priority Mail Express. Okay, there's another service called Media Mail. Media Mail is for media, books, CDs, records, and this service has some restrictions. First of all, it is subject to postal inspection, and if they find anything in the box that is not under the category of media, then you or your receiver will be charged for that. With like a postage due, that wouldn't be real good for your customer. You cannot combine media mail items in the same package with non-qualifying items. Non-qualifying items include personal notes and cards. You can only put an extra enclosure in there if it pertains strictly to the item you're shipping. For example, a bill or an invoice, a brief note that introduces the media, instructions for its use, corrections to any printed information in the media, and it cannot contain any advertising or marketing of any type. And so if I were to sell a book to someone and I was shipping it media mail, I would just put the book in there, packaging it correctly, and I wouldn't even put a business card in there or a thank you note with my web address on there, because you don't want it to be subject to postage due. And then what I would do is I would send my customer a note saying, because this is media mail, I couldn't put a thank you inside, but I wanted to tell you I appreciate your business and that kind of thing. So just know that if you're sending something media mail, be careful what you put in there. Those rates are quite a bit cheaper. It is also quite a bit slower. My friend Lisa said she ordered some homeschool materials and it took her a month to get them. So that's pretty par for the course for media mail. Your customer may want to pay for a faster service, and in my case, I have that option available to them. If you're using your online platforms to ship, if there's a barcode, it's tracked. It's trackable. First class, parcel select, priority mail, even media mail. If there's a barcode, it will be scanned. Sometimes your first class and your media mail doesn't get scanned, but that's very rare. If you're shipping with stamps, of course, you do not get tracking. I'm not going to cover insurance too much here, but on your shipping platforms, there's a box to check if you want additional insurance. You can key in the amount that you want, and you can see the price jump. And it's usually just a few dollars. Okay, how to get the mail person to pick up your packages. You can schedule a pickup. Some mail carriers don't like to do this. I know I have a friend in Los Angeles, and she said she could not get her mail carrier to pick up her packages. I am out in the country, and a rural carrier has to be a post office on wheels, and they will pick up my packages. And the thing about scheduling a pickup is it can, I think, delay your package. I know with UPS it'll delay it one day because they need one day to process the pickup. And there may be a charge for that with some services for pickup. I don't think the post office charges, but UPS might. The other thing, what I did with my mail carrier is when I started shipping from my home and I knew I was going to have packages out there a few times a week, I asked him, what's the best way to handle this? I didn't want to put them out at the street. And we fortunately have a little covered building near our gate. We live out in the country, so there's a gate that keeps you from going up the driveway all the way. It keeps animals in, stuff like that. And there's a little hut, we call it the gatehouse, but it really was built as a bus stop. It's got a bench inside. It was built as a little place for the prior owner's daughters to wait for the school bus. And it's great for receiving and putting packages because it keeps them out of the weather. And so we worked out a system where I put a note in the mailbox and I put the flag up. And if the flag's up, they know I probably have packages, and they open the mailbox, they see the note, and they come around. It's just a quick little jog with the truck, and they pick up my packages. And that's what my mail carrier wanted to do, and that's how we do it. Okay, there's something called anonymous mail, and there are some regulations about that. Any mail that weighs over 13 ounces that uses only postage stamps has to be presented at the post office. It can't be put in your mailbox or in the postal blue box. The reason for this is security, and this all happened after 9/11. They don't want people shipping things through the mail they shouldn't ship. And if you're just putting stamps on it, that could happen. So the way around that is to use the online platforms, because you get a barcode. Once you get a barcode and your name and address is on there and it's all registered, through the post office, they know who you are. They know who sent this package, and they can track you down if it's something bad. So you can put packages over 13 ounces out for the mailman if they have a printed label with a barcode. Now let's talk about blue boxes. Hi there. Sorry to interrupt your program, but I want to tell you about my other YouTube channel. My husband and I are building out a van into a camper, and we're doing a YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. You can see all of our mistakes and our frustrations of trying to turn a van into a camper. The YouTube channel is all you got to do is, it's very hard to find, so I put a link below. The blue postal boxes have changed over the years, and now at the front of them there's this little thing that comes out, and you've got to put your package through there. These will go in pretty easy, and a letter will go in easy, but a box like this isn't going to go in. Some of the older boxes, if you go around the back, and I'm going to insert a little picture here, but if you walk around the back, there's a door. And it's legitimate. It's meant to be there. It's a door, and you can put some of your bigger packages through there. Packages that wouldn't fit through the front can fit through there. However, those are becoming fewer and further between. I went to one. It had the door, but the door didn't open but that far. A few takeaways on this. One is, and this is just a shipping tip, if you're going to ship leather bags, books, anything with paper, anything with cloth, please put it in a plastic bag. That will protect it from the rain, and you never know if where it's going or on the way it could get rained on. Sometimes those postal trucks leak. You just never know. So put the item in a plastic bag, and you'll be protected, and your receiver will be protected as well. I highly suggest a postal scale, and if you don't want to invest in a digital one, this is a very old one because that's what I have, but they still sell postal scales. Isn't that cute? And they tell you the ounces, and they do weigh to the ounce, and you can get them that weigh pounds and ounces, and those work as well. But I highly recommend the digital ones. I've had packages that are in my own box, or they could be in a priority mail box, and they weigh 2 pounds, 2 ounces. Let's just pick that number. That 2 ounces rounds it up to the 3-pound rate, which can jump quite a bit. There's a couple things I'll do to reduce the weight. One is maybe I have something dense in there like paper. I might put something like bubble or air pillows in there instead to reduce the weight. And if none of that works, I've actually been known to cut off these flaps, just the two that go down first, cut them off so they're about half their size. They still work. It's just reducing the weight. Those are little things you can do if you just need to get rid of a couple ounces. The third thing I recommend is if you don't have a platform that you ship with, and you just want to ship a package to grandma, and you don't want to go to the post office to do it, look at something like Pirate Ship. It was free to sign up, very easy to use, and it gave me all the rates to compare. If I ship UPS, I will probably drive it out to the UPS store. I have several in my area. There's also a drop box. If the box is small enough, I can use the UPS drop box. These cardboard envelopes can hold quite a bit. And one of the things you can do to sort of expand the amount that they can hold is, I'll show you what I'm doing here. Okay, so now I basically widened it. Fold these little corners down, and you can easily put a small box in there. A box that might have cost more to ship in your own box that could go in this priority mail envelope. Postal Service says if it fits, it ships. That is perfectly legal. The person I got the tip from got it from a postal worker. So if it fits, it ships. Remember that. Okay, I hope there were some tips in there that can help you navigate your way through the shipping maze that is USPS. I find it easy, but some people find it hard. And just take advantage of those online platforms and those rate comparison charts, and it should go real well with you. So check out my Etsy shop. There's the information. Also, there's a link below. And now you know how I ship my packages. And I take great care to package everything, make sure it arrives alive. So that's all I have to say about, well, it's probably not all I have to say, but it's all I'm going to say about shipping your packages. I'm sure there's a lot of other information out there, something I missed. If you can think of something to add to this, please leave it in the comments below. If you have more questions, maybe they're answered down there. So chime in, let us know what you know and what you've learned about shipping your packages. And y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.